Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, into Summit High School. Tonight, we have some playoff basketball between Summit and South Albany. I'm Pierce Gordon. With me is Finley Gober. Finn, what is your take on tonight's game, and what do the Storm need to do to come out of here with a win?
I think the Storm just really need to keep doing what they've been doing in this latter half of the season. They've proven to be a really chippy team. I think that they're made for playoff basketball. South Albany's not a bad team at all. I mean, they're definitely a worthy opponent. So Summit can't take this game off. They got to go at it just like they do every other game, and I think that they can get this dub.
I tend to agree with you there. As we're introducing the Storm's starting lineups, the Storm, if we take a look at their past 3 games here, tough loss to Caldera, where really at the start of the fourth quarter and in the second half, the Storm really just fell behind. Caldera pulled away. Caldera, of course, the number 1 team in 5A going into the tournament. And then the Storm with 2 bounce-back wins, 58-42 over Mountain View and 63-53 over Ridgeview. That was the last game we did. That was senior night. The Storm looked very impressive then, looking to dominate similarly here tonight. And, of course, the Storm able to capture the IMC solely with a win over Ridgeview. IMC this year has been a pretty tight race with Caldera, Redmond, and Summit. Caldera, of course, lost to Mountain View, so that made them have 3 losses in the IMC, and Summit beat Redmond twice, making them the undisputed champs.
Yeah, in that Ridgeview game, I mean, we saw a Summit team that was just completely dialed in and really ready for playoff basketball, ready for whatever you're going to throw at them. The defense was as solid as ever, and offensively, Will Manfredi and the rest of the cast was completely unstoppable. And, I still think that this is a largely unproven Summit team. A lot of these guys were JV kids last year, swinging on that varsity team that won state, and they haven't been able to get over the Caldera hump, had that heartbreaker at home, and then that one that you were just touching on before, where they unfortunately kind of let the game get away from them in the fourth quarter. So they got plenty to prove here in the playoffs, but I think that they're a team with championship pedigree and have a lot of opportunities to really make a splash this year.
Tip goes the way of the Red Hawks. Just passing it around, the Storm settling into their defense, which has been fairly strong all year. Shot clock ticks under 20. See a little pick and pop, and that will be a turnover. Go the way of the Storm early on in this game.
Yeah, a little miscommunication there. Not the foot you want to get started off on, but no problem. Time to get honed in on defense. Blasi has it up top. Feeds it to Grebe. Back to Blasi on the wing now. And Freddie up top takes a screen. Tompkins thought about the 3. Now it's Grebe inside. Finishes with ease. 2 points for Summit.
If the Storm can get that going with Grebe inside, this game might as well be over. Grebe getting the bucket inside. Touching on the Red Hawks a little bit. Definitely an older team as the 3 is up, 3 rims out, rebounded by Manfredi as he pushes in transition. But the Red Hawks definitely an older team with mostly seniors and juniors with very few sophomores. So really, their time to make a run is now in the playoffs. But going to need to fight through Summit as they force a turnover there in transition, pulling it back. Step back 3, rims out, ball's tipped around, rebounded by the Red Hawks. Gets it back, goes up, layup's good. Blasi now bringing it up for the Storm, hands it off Scally. Scally over to Grebe. Grebe travels. Good call by the officials there.
Yeah, so Red Hawks showing that defense early here. And Summit, a team that I've praised in the past really for never forcing anything. I mean, I think you see it the most in transition. They do a great job capitalizing on transition buckets, but they don't force it. They're not afraid to slow it down. So far, it feels like they're trying to force it inside. They got to take what the defense is giving them. It's something that they've succeeded with a lot this year.
And inside, blocked by Scally. They're going to call a foul on that. As we'll take another look. Red Hawks just driving inside, a little give and go, get it inside. Scally going up and
I mean, he came down on it there. That's a classic call right there. See that quite a bit. First free throw does not go. So we'll call that a good foul.
Yeah, number 42, Kyle, at the line for the Redhawks. And really, we've talked about this in basically every broadcast. Points from the charity stripe are key, and the percentage from the charity stripe is key. If you can convert anywhere above 70%, that's a very good metric and a very important key to winning. As Grebe, pull-up three, drains it. Ryder Grebe putting the Summit team on his back. Redhawks looking for a three of their own. Deep, high arcing, doesn't fall. Rebounded by Grebe, pushing it up to Blossy. Blossy one-on-one, gets fouled, and that will be the first foul. Or sorry, second foul.
Manfredi to inbound now on the baseline.
Yeah, Grebe early on in this game has just been dominant.
Yeah, really playing playoff basketball at a high level. Not afraid to get physical, but again, taking what the defense gives them right there with the pass to Blossy, wide open under the basket. Summit's really good at doing that, kind of drawing, lulling the defense to sleep, taking advantage at the rim.
7-3, few minutes into the first. Redhawks trying to respond on offense. Storm settling into their defense. A shot clock just above 10, and that will be another turnover. That's 2 turnovers early on for South Albany.
Yeah, and kind of the same type of turnover too, just miscommunications in the pass that lead to the ball just going out of bounds. And Manfredi has it up top for Summit. Pete Tompkins in the corner, who tries to feeds it into Grebe. Can't quite corral it, but there's a foul, and that one will stay with Summit.
As we look back at that last play here, I really think you were complimenting the Storm on not forcing it. That's a force pass inside, and really bailed out by the foul there. So they'll call that one on the floor, get it in the corner. Tompkins, quick three, wasn't able to connect with anything there. In transition, Redhawks trying to push it. Drives inside, no foul call, and that will be out of bounds off Scally. Surprised there was no travel call or foul call before the out of bounds.
Hallberg to inbound. That one tipped by Scally. Remain with the Redhawks.
Yeah, probably a better place to inbound it.
Good hustle either way. Still Hallberg to inbound for the Redhawks.
Inside now. Redhawks really have been pretty successful from the inside, drawing a foul, converting 1 for 2 from the stripe, and then getting the layup to fall. Still looking for their outside shots here as the Storm are all over that step back. Scally just blanketing.
Now just 5 seconds on the shot clock. Redhawks got to get one up, and that one's blocked. Still stays with the Redhawks, but now just 4 seconds on that shot clock. It's a high pass now. 2 seconds. Three's up. Won't quite go. Rebound from Grebe. And Tompkins has it. Driving inside. Floater. It's good.
Tompkins just great body control there. And we've seen that from him all season, being able to just control his body and stop on a dime.
Yeah, he's going to be such a frustrating guy to try and guard because he really doesn't play super fast, super physical, super aggressive. He really can just take what you give him. I've been saying that all night, take what they give you, but he can really take what you give him and capitalize on that. He plays at his own pace.
As the Redhawks go inside again to Thompson, fouled by Tompkins. Will send Thompson to the line for the Redhawks. And like I said before, the Redhawks have had a lot of success going inside and getting some buckets in the paint. Obviously, scouting report for the Storm on defense says play the perimeter.
You see Grebe come out there. Kettering goes in the game.
Yeah, so the Storm kind of going with a shorter lineup here as we see a timeout on the court by South Albany. Storm going to a shorter lineup here, and I imagine that's because the Redhawks really no true big men that we see like a Will Jensen with Caldera, who's 6'7".
Exactly, yeah, and that's something that Summit really struggled with. If you watch that first Caldera game, I think Jensen had, 49 in that game? But they really could not stop him. It got to the point where they were just fouling him. And South Albany's lack of size in the paint could be something that could really affect them late in the game. I mean, you're not going to get threes up the whole game. You're not going to get open looks the whole game. And if they don't have a consistent guy to go to, it could affect them. They need to establish someone to play through offensively to try and make this Summit zone that's been so solid all season direct their focus on one player and open up things for other guys.
Yeah, and touching on what you said before, the Storm's weakness really has been the inside paint defense and just stopping true big men in the paint. As Blossy brings it up for the Storm, slowing things down, gives it over. Kettering, first touch of the game. Fake hands it off to Scally, still has it, trapped in the corner, able to get it to Manfredi. Manfredi driving down over to Blossy. Blossy drives inside, dishes it out. Tompkins elects not to take the three, drives inside, layup blocked by the rim. Redhawks now in transition, have numbers. Storm get back quickly to stop this fast break opportunity. It's now still looking for the outside shot there with no paint touch yet this possession. Still, really, I mean, they've been passing it around the three-point arc this whole time. It's now inside to the paint, and basket's good. Miller getting that one to fall from inside the paint.
Yeah, just a little aggressive there. Summit loves jumping those pass lanes. It's something that's generated a ton of turnovers for them this season, but got to be careful with it and make sure you've got some help on your backside.
So we'll get a 5-second call there, looks like, against the Storm.
Going back to when you were saying, Summit's big weakness has been stopping big guys in the paint, I think that really is rooted in this, Summit doesn't really have a true big guy themselves. I mean, they have tall players, they have dudes that can play in the paint, but Grebe and Scally, I feel like, kind of occupy that center power forward position. Neither of them really play like a center. They play on the wing, which I think is a good thing in high school because that allows you and opens you up to maybe play at a higher level. But
yeah, 3 falls for the Redhawks. And another thing to note, as the Redhawks take their first lead of the game, Storm coach Joe Wells picking up not a technical, but his first foul. He's averaging 1 a game so far this season. His 3 is good for Kettering. Kettering with a response right back after the Redhawks get on the board with a 3. Still looking for that 3-point shot again. Step back, blanketed by Blossy. As shot clock just above 10. As the Redhawks get it inside of the paint. Grebe tried to jump the pass, unable to. Now pull it right back out. Shot clock down to 4. In the corner, 3 is up and 3 rims out. Ball's on the deck, rebounded by Kettering. Kettering pushes it up to Scally. Scally over to Grebe. Grebe, easy layup, falls.
Beautiful transition, and that's what I'm talking about when I say Summit can really capitalize in transition. They're so good at filing those lanes, moving the ball, keeping their eyes up, and you see the reward there, 2 points.
As the Storm now settling into their zone, driving inside, floater banks in for Thompson. Really, every time that the Redhawks have gotten a paint touch, it's been a basket for them. So right now, Manfredi over to Blossy, over to Scally. Storm passing it around the top. Really in no hurry. Blossy in the corner, elects not to take the 3, drives inside, layup falls.
You see the Redhawks switch to the zone there, still not enough to stop Summit offensively, and both these teams is trading blows now.
Yeah, shot clock's dark. Imagine South Albany will hold for the last possession. As clock a tick above 10. Corner 3 is up, 3 off the front of the rim. Still 6 seconds left. Storm trying to push it up, stolen. 1 second left, shot is up, good if it goes, rims out. So for the first quarter, South Albany coming out really slowly, but then getting some buckets middle of the first quarter and able to kind of claw their way back down by 3.
Yeah, showing some bite, and Summit got to tighten up a little bit. Stop trying to force it and play their own game. Up 3. And we're back with the second quarter. We'll check with Langston Bullard, give us a little inside look on that first quarter.
You know, Finley, like you said, with South Albany switching to the 2-3 zone here, I think that's a good move because the Storm don't shoot a lot of threes at all. And as you see a 3 there, they don't shoot a lot of threes there, so you can kind of open up, switch the zone, and let them shoot the threes, let them make that, because that's not really their game.
As you say that, Langston, the Storm with Manfredi draining a 3, little commentator's jinx there, as South Albany shooting a 3 of their own, rims out, board corralled by Grebe. Grebe now in transition, had Blossy inside, elects to give it to Manfredi. Manfredi Kettering thought about it, and he traveled.
Yeah, calling the travel is really tight. This player's got to really, kind of tighten this stuff up. It's playoff time. Coaches love saying that. It's playoff time. You can't make these mistakes anymore, but it's true. You really got to watch stuff like that because they will call it in regular games and in the playoffs.
As driving inside to the paint, tough layup falls. South Albany really having some success inside the paint as Grebe trying to mimic that, goes up and gets fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. So that will be on Thompson. That will be Thompson's first for the Redhawks. Grebe to the line. Grebe, a 70% free throw shooter, really started out the year struggling from beyond the arc. If I remember, he was like 50, 60% to start the year. Has really improved that throughout the season, as well as this whole Storm team shooting 69% as a team.
Yeah, I think besides just the free throw shot, you've seen this whole team all kind of in different ways really just improve. At the start of the season, things were looking bleak. The playoffs honestly weren't even really in the question for a lot of people after that first handful of games. Manfredi was really struggling from beyond the arc. I think he was shooting 12% after, week 3? Look at him now, firing on all cylinders offensively for a couple weeks now.
So we get a foul on the inside. Appear to call that on number 1. I'll be on Rubish. So we'll take a look on the right side of your screen what happened there. Just a moving screen there from Rubish. As Blossy brings it up for the Storm. Over to Kettering in the corner, inside Grebe. Grebe, reverse layup, falls.
And Grebe feeding on the inside tonight, generating a ton of baskets and kind of starting to draw that South Albany team inside. Might start to open up looks for guys like Manfredi on the perimeter.
As pass jump by Blossy. Blossy gets the steal. Smart foul there from Rubish in transition. That'll be on the floor. That'll be his second. So I imagine he'll probably have a seat for the rest of this half.
E.J. Rubish picks up the foul. It's his third personal foul on Rubish.
Sorry, third personal foul. So yeah, he'll definitely be having a seat for the rest of the half, but really a smart foul in transition that could have really swung the momentum even more to the way of the Storm. As up top, Grebe, pick from Tompkins, gives it right back to him. Manfredi thought about it, elected not to. Over to Grebe. Grebe, mid-range, gives it out to Tompkins. Storm really have not been able to penetrate inside the hole so far. Manfredi, corner 3, falls.
Death taxes and Will Manfredi, corner 3, all night. You don't even got to draw up a play, just let it fly from the corner. 3 points for Summit so far, a couple times now. See if West Albany can respond, and they can't. Sorry, South Albany, excuse me. And Summit quietly now with an 11-point lead. That double-digit lead just snuck up, but starting to slow it down a little bit. They seemed a little rushed at the start of the game, starting to play their brand of basketball a little bit now, play at their own pace, not letting that South Albany defense speed them up.
No, they're not, as Kettering now taking the point position, gives it off to Grebe. Really the whole Storm offense running through Grebe right now. So he gets it right back in the corner, draws a double falls away as Grebe drives inside. And really, that double's gonna need a stick there for the Redhawks to stop Grebe from now on, as we get a timeout from South Albany. The Storm, like you said, quietly pushing that lead to 13. Full timeout there from South Albany. Really just want to slow things down, capture that momentum back, and try and go on a run for the final 5:13. Slow of the ball here. Bringing it up, Susi guarded by Taylor. Really his first meaningful minutes in this one. So now Thompson drives inside, floater, gets fouled on it. He'll go to line to shoot two.
So Pierce, if you're South Albany here, do you want to try and get some shots up from the perimeter or continue to attack the paint?
I mean, perimeter shots have not been falling for them so far, but statistics do catch up to you eventually, and eventually they're going to start hitting them. So I think really, if you're South Albany, you just can't force the shots. You can't force the three-point shots. Like right there, perfect drawn-up play, gets Thompson inside, and I think has 2 bank shots today with that same floater. Go back to him, gets fouled. He converts in the first one, and converts in the second one. Kettering now brings it up for the Storm. Taylor now back up top, Kettering. Get it inside to Grebe. Whole Storm offense really running through him. Over to Manfredi, no hesitation. Manfredi is feeling it.
Yeah, you betcha. Manfredi's 9th point now from beyond the arc. It's coming so naturally. He's 3 for 3 from 3.
South Albany trying to respond with a 3 of their own. Long rebound, able to corral it, drives inside, and an easy layup falls for Kyle.
Nice response there. Good job catching Summit out of position there. Something you don't see often. Here's another 3 look for Kettering. You betcha! Cowabunga! It's another one for Summit.
And you were talking about what South Albany should do and whether they should keep shooting them. The Storm now, which is not a 3-point shooting team on the season, they're 30% as a 3 rims out for the Redhawks. Storm team 30% has hit 2 in a row as Manfredi almost loses it, gives it over to Tompkins. Grebe now thought about it. Manfredi wants it. He gets it. Over to Kettering, no hesitation. A little heat check there for the Storm.
Yeah, we all felt it coming. You know they wanted to shoot that 3, and like you said before, statistics do catch up to you. But what a run there from Summit after South Albany with the long timeout, trying to get something going. They really got to start producing more effectively on offense.
And I think an interesting stat to look at here, the Storm on the season holding opponents to 28% from beyond the 3-point line.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's a testament to their defense. I think a lot of the time you see a team chuck up a 3, and that one won't go for Manfredi. I think they wear them down a lot of the time. They get down to those final 10 seconds of the shot clock, and they'll chuck up a 3 and can't finish there. but there will be a foul call on Abe Taylor. So that's 2 shots at the line now for South Albany.
So we look at the past 2 threes. Manfredi, really not horrible defense there. And then South Albany able to respond. And then in transition, the Storm kind of just slowing things down and able to get the 3 to fall from Kettering. As Bledsoe and Scally will check in, Bledsoe really the only underclassman as a sophomore that will get meaningful minutes for the Storm, and that's largely due to his height. Also a last name that Storm fans will be very familiar with.
And Bledsoe, you're pretty much good to see him get 1 or 2 blocks a game, especially on the perimeter. He just gets up there and blocks those threes.
As you see him now, number 1 dishes it down to Kettering, Kettering to Tompkins, and that is some pretty basketball.
That's the type of stuff you love to see. Summit, I mean, everything is falling for him right now. It's coming real easy.
Yeah, Storm coach Joe Wells out of his seat for that one, as that's a coach's dream play right there. As another, I wouldn't count that as a forced turnover. I'd say that's another unforced turnover.
Yeah, that's the 3rd time that you've seen South Albany just give it up out of bounds. Miscommunications on the passes.
So right here, you look at the screen, really, I think, thought he was going to continue through that and elected not to use the screen and threw the pass too soon as Scally into Kettering. Kettering mid-range jumper falls.
We're starting to see a lot of frustration for South Albany, and that's something Summit does on both ends of the floor. They wear you down. They're not just going to go out there and hit all those explosive plays off rip, but they slowly take over games and squeeze the life out of their opponents.
Yeah, Storm team, a very athletic team, and I think that's Summit High School in general. Every sports team, really, maybe not the most skillful, or as a 3 is up, 3 rims out, rebounded by the Redhawks. Looking for an outlet pass, finds one, luckily, gets it back. 3 is up, 3 unable to hit anything as that pass is saved. Blossy in transition over to Bledsoe. Bledsoe thought about the dunk. Layup doesn't fall, rebounded by Tompkins. That one does. We'll have a timeout from South Albany. But Finn, like I was saying before, the Storm, as a high school in general, really might not have the most the most skillful basketball players, but really just have athletes. And I think that's not to take away from any of the Storm's skill, but definitely just a lot of athletes, and that's a testament to how they can wear down teams. So Storm almost have a 20-point lead at 19 in this timeout, as the last timeout for South Albany, coming out of that, wasn't able to cut the deficit down, but did have a pretty good play drawn up inside. I wonder if they'll go back to Thompson for that little floater from the dot.
Yeah, I think they need to change things up on both ends of the floor. I mean, I think it's important to stay true to what you do and play basketball how you want to play it. But I also think at some point, you're down 19 in the playoffs. It's do or die right now. You got to switch it up. Obviously, it's not working. Someone's having no problems offensively. Defensively, they're having a field day, ton of turnovers. You got to slow down and start to switch stuff up a little bit. Try something new.
Yeah, and if there's a team that's able to put up points quickly, it is definitely the Redhawks.
Yeah, I mean, a team that's had a game, I think, just sub 100 points this season, which you really don't see often in high school basketball. Wide open 3 there, and off the front iron, Redhawks do rebounds.
It's going to be a kickball on Bledsoe on the inside, as that will reset the shot clock, but realistically put 1 more second back on it. As out of the timeout, saw that first glimpse of the play, see the second iteration of it, as elected not to take the 3, and that's going to be a travel on Thompson. Sorry.
It's a tough one. It's really starting to just become a mental thing for South Albany. I think this is a talented team. They've been great offensively all year long, but small stuff like that, the travels, the missed shots, the open shots that they're just not capitalizing on, it's really hard because you get in games like this, it's playoff time, start getting behind like this. Like I said before, it's do or die, and if you can't get out of that mental rut, it really just kind of compounds. It gets worse and worse.
Yeah, last 54.8 here. So we had a carry call. Don't see that one too often against Bledsoe. Redhawks now trying to respond, driving inside. A tough layup, doesn't fall, rebounded by Blossy. Blossy now trying to push it in transition. About a 5-10 second difference in shot clock. Gamecock. Bledsoe, 3, doesn't fall, unable to get his rebound. Shot clock now dark, and the Redhawks realize that and pull it out. As last time, really sloppy clock management, giving the Storm 6 seconds, and the Storm with some sloppy basketball to end the first.
Yeah, capitalizing here with the last shot would be huge. And he draws the foul.
As the crowd got him to shoot early, but drawing the foul with 6.2 left.
Foster Kettering picks up the Summit Storm foul. Second personal shooting foul.
Now opportunity to cut that lead to 17 before half. They'll take what they can get right now.
As 2 shots here from the line. First one falls. Second one falls. So Storm, chance to push the lead to 19 or 20. Blossy gets fouled himself. Really a smart foul there. Storm not in the bonus with South Albany with now will be 4 team fouls. 2.7 on the clock.
3 seconds to get a shot off here.
As Will Manfredi not on the court for the Storm.
I was just thinking the same thing. I might want to go to Tompkins here, but they find Kettering. Back to Blossy, gets it up. It's good!
Rowan Blossy at the end of the half puts up a prayer and it falls. And if that is not symptomatic of the first half, I don't know what is. We'll take another look at it. So inbound goes to Kettering. Right here, Kettering gives it up. Blossy pump fakes the first shot. Guy goes behind him. Second one, as the clock is expiring, gets it to fall.
And how about it? Rowan Blossy, offensive production all season, all night. You see it right there. Summit up 20 to South Albany at half.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the second half of OSAA playoff basketball action. The Storm lead South Albany by 10. The Storm average 5 threes a game. Tonight, in the first half, they have 7 threes. The Storm also only averaging 30 first half points. Tonight, 43. So really outplaying their averages and statistics at the right time in March.
Yeah, the one thing that maybe isn't an abnormality, and there's a 3 from South Albany to prove me wrong. Not necessarily prove me wrong, but one thing that isn't an abnormality for Summit is holding a team below 25 points in the first half, something that they've done all season long. Defensively, have been so solid. And Manfredi draws the foul there on the finger roll. He'll get 2 at the line.
As a lot of people will look at 20 points at half and think this one is over, but South Albany, we talked about this before, put up 98 points in a high school basketball game. That just a shy under 100 in a high school basketball game, especially in the state of Oregon with the shot clock being at 35, is just absurd.
Yeah, that's something that not very many teams could do. Even, I mean, some of the teams in this tournament with the best offense, I don't even know if Caldera could do that if they tried. I mean, that's super impressive and a testament to how hot the Redhawks can get offensively and how efficient they can be offensively when the time comes. But they've yet to face a defense like Summit's so far this season. I think Summit, if you don't score on them in the first 10 seconds of the possession, it gets really, really hard to get a good look. Because once they get set in that zone, it's so hard to break it down again.
Yeah, the common opponent between the two is Ridgeview. South Albany lost 72-63. The Storm beating Ridgeview twice. This is the one common opponent, but it is March. Anything can happen. As up top, South Albany really using a lot of this shot clock as it ticks under 10. Drives inside, step back, long 3 falls. South Albany 2 for 2 from beyond the arc. So coming out firing 2 for 2 from beyond the arc this half. Storm get it in. Tompkins double fades away. floater skyhook falls. Now, Redhawks pushing it in transition. Now slowing things down. Get that paint touch inside. Looking again for the three. Step back, same spot, doesn't take it. The Storm just blanketing that shot. The shot clock now a tick above 10. As no hesitation on the three. That one rims out. Good sign if you're a Storm fan there.
Yeah, needed the heat check. Great shooting so far in the second half for South Albany. And here's Manfredi now. Gives it up to Grebe. Manfredi up top. Driving now. Stuck. Fade away from Manfredi. Rims out. And it's rebounded Blossy. And I believe he draws the foul.
Yeah, he does, and really, that's going to be an automatic foul every time. If you're inside and have three defenders around you, the official puts his hand up even before you jump. See that a lot with Caldera's Will Jensen, just getting it inside, and it's going to be a foul every time. As Scally open for three, doesn't make Redhawks pay. As Blossy, another rebound, gets the bucket and the foul. Rowan Blossy really putting the Storm team on his back, taking over from Ryder Grebe.
Yeah, such an athletic play there. Not giving up on the play.
So we have just because why not, look back at right before the half. On the right of your screen, Blossy gets that to fall.
And Cordell has it up top. Redhawks moving it around.
Johnson now. Redhawks pretty successful when they get that paint touch. Haven't this possession so far. The shot clock at 15, drives inside. Blossy gets the block. Tompkins off his knee and will go the way of the Redhawks with a reset shot clock.
Yeah, and how about Blossy again? Just exploding here on both sides of the ball.
As to inbound, as ball on the ground is picked up by Hallenberg, and he dishes it off, gets it back, looking for something open from beyond the arc, and that's going to be a foul on Blossy on the inside. Take another look at that. If you watch number 2, Rowan Blossy, just watch him through this. Just a little too physical, grabbing on defense there. So Redhawks get it in. Corner 3 falls for number 23, Thompson. Storm now in transition with Blossy. Blossy pulling it out. As again, we've said it many times tonight, statistics will catch up to you as the Redhawks have started hitting from beyond the arc as Grebe drives inside. Tough layup, falls, and the foul. Late foul call there.
Summit eating inside right now. And I think players on both teams really just got to start loosening up on the fouls. The refs have established over and over how they're going to call this game. And, it's a playoff game, and they're, in their own right to call it how they see it. And I think it's time to loosen up a little bit, play up maybe a little bit less aggressive, especially in the paint for both of these teams.
Yeah, we see two defensive fouls in 2 possessions, one by Blossy. And then inside, I believe that was on number 34, Johnson.
I think 3 defensive fouls in 3 possessions, actually,
yeah,
because you had the Redhawks foul the possession before that.
Yeah. So Redhawks now looking to remain hot from beyond the arc. Thompson again airballed it, and there's going to be a foul on number 24, Miller, pushing Grebe after the fact. As really think that was, I don't know if that was a forced 3. I mean, I think you really need to start shooting those. But South Albany now put the Storm in the bonus as they'll shoot 2 now with Grebe. Of course, new OSAA rules this year. 5 fouls in a quarter, just an automatic double bonus. as well as the shot clock being at 35. Remember, what was that, 4 years ago now, Storm played Wilsonville, or 3 years ago, played Wilsonville in the state championship with no shot clock, and that Wilsonville team, very frustrating team to play back then, really just would have these 5-7 minute possessions.
Yeah, did a really good job capitalizing on that. And Summit obviously kind of redeemed themselves from that last year, looking to do it again this year.
But not out of it yet, as to make it to the tournament, they need to win this one, and South Albany looking to spoil that. Is driving inside, ran right through the baseline to the other end, gets it up top, long three, rims out, rebounded by Blossy. Blossy pushes it up to Manfredi. Smart foul on that play there to foul Blossy after the pass. Either way, it will be 2 shots, but it prevents Manfredi from getting the easy 2. Smart foul there from Holber. In this bonus, with 3:42 left in the third quarter, really paying dividends to the Storm if they can capitalize on it. As first one for Blossy rims out.
Blossy capitalizes on that second one from the stripe. Now South Albany back at it on offense. Starting to hit a bit of a wall again after that really strong start from beyond the arc. And here's a 3. Won't go. It's off the front iron. And here's Grebe in transition now. Dribbling through traffic. He'll pull it back.
Yeah, Storm really, I think, going to use the shot clock here as we see Woodford first time in the game. Kettering trying to get it inside to Grebe, and does. Grebe fouled. Officials really calling this one tight. We'll take another look at it. So the Storm go into Grebe, and yeah, that's a foul, but
I mean, I think at this point, you know, no matter what team you're rooting for, you just kind of want to see them play. And again, you know, the refs establish how they're going to officiate this game early, and I think that it's the team's responsibility to react to that. But there also comes a point where, you know, there's a team up double digits, and you want to see both these teams play and finish off this playoff game.
As 1 for 2 from the stripe is Grebe.
I mean, maybe following the strategy, Summit started to struggle a little bit from the line again here.
Yeah, we mentioned it at the tip that how important it is as a 3 falls for the Redhawks. Wow.
Yeah, a lot of sauce on that play. 3 more for South Albany, and now Blossy has it trying to respond. He feeds Grebe on the wing up to Tompkins, and Summit just moving it around the top. Woodford has it now.
Looks like South Albany, as Grebe drives inside, and that's going to be a charge. Will just be the second team foul against the Storm.
Yeah, coaches love to see stuff like that, taking the charge.
As that will be Grebe's first, as Bledsoe will check in for Grebe. As just under 2:30 left, tipped out by Blossy. I'm not sure he's going to win that argument that was tipped off.
Yeah, I mean,
Off Miller. But
one space that we've seen Summit, I wouldn't say struggle with, but just a little less effective in, is jumping those pass lanes. It's something that they've done all season and generated, 6, 7, 8, up to double digits in turnovers all season. And there's a high arcing 3 won't go. And a transition now for Summit. Blossy has it. It's a bucket.
Rowan Blossy in transition, really just showing the athleticism there. Little Euro goes up, absorbs contact, gets a shot to fall.
Now South Albany back below, draw the foul. It's been a long third quarter, a lot of free throws up, especially for that Summit team, but now South Albany getting a shot at the line. It's LJ Kyle. as I was saying before, jumping that pass lane for Summit defensively, it's been such a big thing for them all season. I think South Albany has done a good job controlling that a little bit more, not telegramming their passes as much as other teams have done. It's something that a lot of high school teams forget about. It's a small detail, but definitely one that Summit has capitalized on thus far.
Yeah, and the Storm, I think a lot of credit to the Storm defense tonight. South Albany, a team that consistently scores in the 60s, 70s, 80s. Only one game this year against Westview, and that's the third game of the year, only scoring 27. So really, the Storm defense holding the South Albany team that has shown that they can be red hot from beyond the arc. Is two players colliding there, no foul call, rebounded by the Storm. We'll take another look at that once at the next break. Meanwhile, Bloodsoe in the corner, inside Kettering, spinning around, tough basket, falls, and the foul.
Summit drawing another foul now.
So I think on defense, just the Storm really committing to beyond the arc is, no foul call there. With the pace of the game, surprised they didn't call that one. And then most recently, Kettering driving inside there, gets the pass, goes up, gets the foul and the bucket. It's Kettering from the line, 68%, able to capitalize. As inside, we have a foul on the Storm. Not sure what player. They'll call that on Tompkins there. Storm coach Joe Wells with his head in his palms there. Not too happy with that one, but already got one foul tonight. No reason to keep arguing. This pass up top, corralled by Miller. Hands it off in the corner. Three is up, high, arcing off the back of the rim and out. Redhawks able to get their own rebound, trying to go right back to the rim, dish it out. Three is up, high arcing again, same spot on both those shots. So Woodford brings it up over to Kettering. Kettering trying to drive down that baseline, pulls it out, swing pass over to Tompkins. As Kettering now driving inside, hands it off to Tompkins. That pass is intercepted. Tompkins able to corral the rebound, goes up, gets fouled. So I think if the Redhawks want any chance to come back in this, what's doing them no good is the amount of fouls that they're committing.
Yeah, it's really hard because they're trying to play aggressive defense, but there's not a lot of room for that in a game like this. And they're just having to basically pick between, trying to keep the guy in front of them or fouling them. And there's really no in between for them. I think defensively they're starting to run out of options.
Yeah, Tompkins, 71% on the season, 25 for 17, including that one. As second one falls. Redhawks now really came out firing to start the half. Thought they would cut this lead down pretty quickly. The Storm able to respond and keep this lead right back where it was at half. As shot clock's dark, foul on Taylor. His palms are up, but realistically not a horrible foul if you're the Storm. Or sorry, yeah, that is a pretty bad foul if you're the Storm, as the Redhawks are in the bonus.
Colin Court to the line.
Two shots now. First one falls. It's been really lights out from the charity stripe tonight.
Yeah, I think South Albany, they did have that lead down to 14 at one point in this third quarter, but it's really starting to get away from them again here. And I think that's a testament to what we were saying earlier about Summit's ability to close out these games and just slowly get these big leads and hold on to them. It's something that South Albany hasn't been able to replicate. They had that really explosive couple of minutes from beyond the arc, but there just hasn't been much they can do. Like I said before, they're running out of options.
As the Storm roll it up, inbound it.
Kettering up top, here's a three. Won't quite go. Now South Albany has it, no time. That's the third quarter for you. South Albany made an attempt at a comeback, but now staring in the face of a big deficit. Summit leads 65 to South Albany's 38.
As coming to start the fourth quarter here from Summit High School, Storm have possession.
See those starters for Summit back in the game. Wasn't expecting them here in the fourth quarter, but back at it, keeping their foot on the gas. Tompkins juggles the pass a little bit there, and Blasi has it up top now. Taking their time, just 15 seconds on the shot clock now. Blasi calling plays, almost loses it there.
Might have stepped over the line, but that ball was tipped, and Blasi makes up for it, goes down, gets the layup to fall. It's Redhawks now looking to respond, driving inside, dish out, three is up. That is on target and just too strong. Rebounded by Grebe as he slows it down in transition. This man Freddie gets fouled as he drives inside.
Sawyer Hall picks up the Red Hawks foul. It's his third personal foul. First team foul.
As Hallberg picks up his third foul. So the inbound pass is tipped. I think that was Thompson in transition, and the bucket falls. As the Storm trying to get a transition bucket of their own with Scally, floater falls. So, I mean, net even there for both teams. This is now Redhawks driving inside. Storm defense really just letting these South Albany players run all over them. And Storm coach Joe Wells not too happy with that. He'll call a timeout and regroup his team with 6:36 left in the game. Summit leading 69 to South Albany's 40. Will be a full timeout. We see a full court press here from the Redhawks as they get it to Manfredi. It's about like a 75% press here. Trying to get Manfredi and Grebe in that corner. Storm break it easily. Blasi now drives inside. Layup falls.
South Albany adopting Summit's defense from the prior couple of plays. Call that Olay defense. Let him go right by an easy bucket for Blasi. And now here's South Albany on offense, trying to get something going. Good couple of possessions before this, and that's a turnover.
As they'll
stay with South Albany.
It's right here. South Albany slowing it down. That pass across, tipped by Tompkins. This inbound pass up top. Thompson hands it off. Redhawks really looking for a three, get it inside. Thompson driving inside, floats it up, and that's going to be a foul. We'll call that one on Tompkins. So Tompkins will send Thompson to the line to shoot two.
It's been a tough one all game. Tompkins, Thompson.
As that will be Tompkins' fourth for the Storm. First team foul in the quarter.
South Albany looking to cut that lead to 27. First one goes. Kettering will come in for Tompkins.
As I imagine, Tompkins for the Storm will sit for a bit with 4 fouls. As second one rims out, ball's tipped up, Grebe unable to corral it, and Kyle is, as he gets the putback to fall.
So here's Blasi with it up top, taking his time. Scally now in the corner, picks up his dribble, and Kettering has it now. Summit moving it around the top of the key. It's Scally inside, out to Manfredi for the three. Won't go, off the side of the backboard. That one's out of bounds.
Manfredi able to laugh that one off. But I imagine if we were in South Albany, we would not hear that. Manfredi would not hear the end of that one.
And Yeah, if there's anyone you can forgive for missing a three every now and then, it's Manfredi, who's just been lighting it up all season. And there's a three, a South Albany's own. It's Rubish on that one.
As Blasi now really slowing things down, commanding this offense. Tries to hand it off to Scally, ends up finding Kettering. Kettering gives it right back. Kettering thought about the three, elected not to. Still 19-18 on the shot clock. Scally over to Grebe. Grebe thought about it. Back up top, Manfredi. Manfredi calling for the screen. Gets it from Grebe. Gets a splits two defenders. Goes up. Gets the foul. And he'll go to line to shoot two.
Cameron Thompson picks up the Red Hawk foul.
So that will be the Red Hawks' second team foul in the quarter. Will be Thompson, his fourth. So Manfredi drains the first. Tompkins and Thompson for both teams have 4 fouls.
Yeah, it's been a really foul-heavy game for both teams, especially South Albany trying to catch up and play that aggressive defense. But still 4 minutes, 40 seconds left, and you know Joe Wells is going to be standing on business, wanting them to continue playing a clean game, no fouls, heading into the remainder of the playoffs, assuming that they close out this game.
As a tough layup falls. As we'll call that one a turnover on Kettering. We'll take another look. Lane violation there. So tough layup, basket falls. Kettering now on the inbound, grabs it, and ooh, not too sure about that one. Doesn't matter. We're playing. Three is up from the corner. Won't matter as Scally grabs the rebound, and timeout now from the Storm. 30-second timeout with 4:15 left. The Storm up 73 to South Albany's 50. We'll catch you on the other end. As a short timeout there from the Storm. Storm coach Joe Wells really wanting to get his team organized and disciplined.
Yeah, how about calling a timeout up 23 with 4 minutes left? That's what we call standing on business. Coach Joe Wells, all about it in playoff basketball here. And now Blasi has it up to Kettering. Summit swinging it around. Manfredi up top. Pump fakes inside. Can't quite finish. And it's Kyle with the rebound. And there's a pump fake, a three. Won't quite go. Brushes the bottom of the net.
Everything as Grebe now tried to drive inside. That last possession, all net, but in the worst way possible. As Blasi now in the corner, gives it back up top. Grebe. Manfredi now calling the shots. Over to Kettering. In the corner again with Grebe. As Grebe dribbles up top, gives it to Manfredi. Manfredi pump fakes, drives inside. Jump stop. Kettering thought about the three, and he traveled. With 1 on the shot clock, so really the Storm using that full 35. As the Storm calling off the Dogs, up 23 with 3:06 left. We see Woodford not so much calling off the Dogs, but definitely Taylor, Woodford, and Bledsoe into the game. As inside, Redhawks unable to get the layup to fall, but gets the putback to fall. Almost gets a steal. Kettering able to corral it over to Taylor. Taylor to Bledsoe, gets it back from Bledsoe. Floater falls as an official's timeout now, as the official's going to go kick something off the court there. as the crowd wanting Lucas Falk. If you watch the senior night broadcast, Lucas Falk, one of the seniors on this team, and Storm coach Joe Wells abiding by the crowd's wishes as Lucas Falk set to check in at the next break. Three won't fall, rebounded by Kettering. Of course, Lucas Falk, a senior, injured kind of start of the season. As the Storm now give it to Bledsoe. Bledsoe drives inside, has it tipped out. And we'll see 2 subs for the Storm. Owen Hill, a sophomore, will send Will Manfredi out for the last time in Summit High School. As Kettering will sit as well. As Hill to inbound, gives it to Woodford. Hill gets it back now. Over to Taylor. Taylor gives it in the corner. Woodford driving inside, jumps, had nowhere to go with it, has it stripped. In transition are the Red Hawks going up. Taylor tried to block it, unable to, and ooh, a tough slide into the back bleachers there. So we'll take another look at that. Woodford going up, unable to corral it, pushing it in transition. Taylor, nothing malicious there, and then just, ooh, the back of the head into the bleachers there.
Unfortunately, seems to be okay, though, thankfully. And it will be 2 free throws for Portal.
As first one falls.
Checking in for the Red Hawks, Baroni Terrell.
And that free throw will go.
As Woodford now brings it up for the Storm. As Storm swing it around above the arc, have Taylor inside. Taylor mid-range jumper from the corner falls. Baseline mid-range jumper falls for Taylor.
And Summit, no problem keeping their foot on the gas despite having the younger lineup in here. Besides Woodford and Falk, the older guys on the team. Speaking of older, happy birthday, Pierce.
One more day. One more day.
His first personal. Ball under the hoop.
And it's Brubish to inbound now for South Albany after the foul. South Albany trying to get a quick bucket up. And that's going to be a foul. That one's on Bledsoe.
Bledsoe not very happy with himself after that one, imaginably so, because really a lot of the underclassmen now playing for kind of minutes next year and possibly minutes later in the playoffs if injury comes or foul trouble comes. South Albany, though, this season, nothing to scoff at. Right now, 16-8 will most likely after this one end the season 16-9, 13-5 in their conference. Coming into this, number 10 in the state. As number 33 crowd favorite Peter Stanley will check in, sending Woodford to the bench for the last time in Summit High School. But yeah, nothing to scoff at if you're the Red Hawks. Really a very impressive season with some very impressive players that have been able to really light it up from beyond the arc. Tonight, not so lucky, and that's largely due to the Storm's perimeter defense.
It's really tough to get going like that. When it happens, it's awesome, but sometimes you just can't get a spark. And tonight was one of those nights, but either way, Red Hawks had an incredible season and have a lot to be proud of.
Checking in for the Red Hawks. Griffin Zink.
Definitely, as we're 55.9 away from the Storm moving on. And it's just, that's basketball for you, and especially in March. I mean, 16 seeds can beat 1 seed, so
Yeah, definitely.
really it's the beauty of this sport of just some nights you're on, some nights you're off. Tonight just not the night for the Red Hawks.
It's absolutely a momentum-based sport. Someone had all the momentum, and they seem to have a lot of momentum in this latter half of the regular season into the playoffs. And now 30 seconds left. Abe Taylor will dribble it out.
1 second difference between shot clock and game clock. So Storm will need to put up a shot, if not just take the shot clock violation.
And the crowd rooted for Peter Stanley to get a quick bucket here towards the end of the game.
As I imagine the Storm will just take the shot clock violation here. So with 1.7 on the clock, Red Hawks will inbound, maybe put up a last second shot, maybe not. Storm with a 22-point lead at the moment, and it will stay 22. The Storm move on with a resounding win over South Albany, 77-55. Finn, what's your take on tonight's game?
Yeah, I mean, this was a home game, but I'm going to call it a business trip for Summit. This is the first round of the playoffs. They knew that this game was important, but it was nothing new for them. Came into a home game, did what they do, got the dub, and that was that.
Yeah, I wish South Albany a safe drive back over the pass. And I know for a lot of Storm fans tuning into this one, I've watched the broadcast throughout the season. A lot of work and effort behind the scenes has gone into these from really everyone on the team here for probably past 2 years. And last one, most likely, for me, Pierce Gordon and Finley Gober.
Yeah, we want to say thank you to everyone who's tuned in over and over. We want to say thank you to Jake Ulrich way back getting this started for us, and everyone else who's been involved. I'm Finn Gober. With me was Pierce Gordon. Thank you to Lily Siglo on camera and Langston Bullard, our rules analysts. It's been an incredible season, incredible time bringing these broadcasts to all of you guys, and for the last time, thank you.
Yeah, I would also really like to shout out Storm coach Joe Wells, has really supported this, and it's very helpful to text him 5 minutes before the game, hey, can I have the updated stats? And really another shout out to Mike Carpenter, Summit's athletic director, has really supported this from the start and really allowed us to do what we do. So for the last time, good night, ladies and gentlemen.